Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what time you're watching this. My name's Connor from 905 Review. You guys are checking out our series Give This a Spin, where I recommend you some of my favorite albums. Today we'll be revisiting Tom Waits, this time with his 1980 release, Heartattack and Vine. Tom Waits grew up in Southern California, where he would develop an interest in both country and soul music, leading to quite the diverse blend regarding his own creations. He was a little bit Ray Charles, a little bit Bob Dylan, but 100% Tom Waits in crafting his own unique material. This of course came with time, as his 1973 debut album Closing Time through the rest of the decade saw him develop from a cool, loungy blues player fit for a chill nightclub to this wild, unpredictable character that we now know him as, growing a little more unique with each release over time, while also earning more accolades and becoming a bigger name. And so that would bring us to the year 1980 with arguably his grittiest effort yet, Heartattack and Vine. The album opens with his titular song, that itself being a play on the intersection of Hollywood and Vine in Los Angeles. It was supposedly in that area that Tom overheard a disheveled woman in a bar talking about how she felt like she was going to have a heart attack, to which the barkeep told her, yeah, take it outside. Yeesh. So that's the reason for the low bluesy sway we have here. And one of Tom's most intriguing lines actually came while he was on the toilet. With a lighter, he was burning a web that a spider was crawling up, when he had a moment of consciousness that this spider's fate laid entirely in his inebriated hands, after which he penned, "There is no devil, only God when he's drunk." It's easy to believe that the song's about Los Angeles itself with the many references to the city, but at the very least I feel like it's about the illusion of glamour, how LA is, often thought of as this big, awesome city, but obviously there's a lot of downsides to it as well, and all of this is sung through Tom's signature raspy growl. There's some subtle saxophone in here that I would have given more time to, but that's just a little nitpick. We follow this up with another loungy one, In Shades. It's an instrumental, so it's all about the cool mood he and his band establish here. It's a solid intermission, one I could easily see being used in a film where a character walks into a seedy bar looking for someone or for some information, but with it being an intermission, I feel like it's used way too soon in the album. The organ that takes the spotlight late in the song is a good move though. So this is followed by Saving All My Love for You. And this one comes across as so theatrical with Tom's big baritone voice and the gorgeous strings and bells that really elevate him. I come home, but I'm afraid that you won't take me back. It's a very self-pitying song where Tom is addressing all the flaws he has, my favorite of which being that he'd still find a way to get arrested even when he's in the grave, but through all this, he'll still have his love saved up for you. And I mean, he doesn't exactly make that sound appealing, but he's shooting his shot, I guess, right? And next up we have Downtown. It's a fitting title as Tom goes on to describe the various scenes and people you'll see in the seedier parts of downtown. Drug dealers, prostitutes, hoodlums, so on and so forth. The song brings a more upbeat sound to it than the others that we've heard, but still in that signature cool blues style that we've become accustomed to. But it's so hard to think going down, 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 down. And I actually kind of picture Waits as it's reminiscent of a big bad character in like a Disney musical who is warning you of this place that you just wandered into. Just another dead soldier in a powder blue night. Sugar man, sell baby, everything's alright. Then we end the first side of the album with Jersey Girl.
Tonight I'm gonna take that ride. Cross the river to the Jersey side.
Here things get a little more sentimental as Tom is writing a somber love tune for his interest Kathleen Brennan, and this might have just done the trick as the two would later get married. And I can't say I blame her, because what a performance he gives. And another non-surprise is that Jersey legend Bruce Springsteen would cover this soon after. So we open the second record side then with Till the Money Runs Out.
We on the bill with a spoon, there ain't no time to unload. So bye bye, baby. Baby, bye bye.
Tom displays what a poet he is here, even if it kind of sounds like he's trying to frighten you with that growl of his, and it's not like he's even necessarily saying anything too profound, rather he just has such a way with words. There's the vast metaphors he puts together one after another, but even when he's not doing that, just like the thoughts he puts together. I sold a quart of blood and bought a half pint of scotch, like, what's he gonna say next? You know, it has me wanting more. But the song's title comes from the fourth verse, in which a man who's hung himself with his tie says, "Baby, I'll be with you till the money runs out," followed by the chorus of "Bye Bye Baby." So yeah, I guess that time's kinda now. And then we have the tender seventh track, On the Nickel. So we've had a number of references to Los Angeles so far and the less glamorous aspects at that, and we continue that here as the Nickel is a nickname sometimes used for Skid Row, one of America's largest homeless populations, being a half square mile where anywhere between 4,500 and 8,000 homeless people reside.
Ring around a rosy, sleeping in the
So Tom sings of this place where you'll end up if you don't take care of yourself and don't follow the rules, but I particularly like the later line, "I know a place where a royal flush don't beat a pair," because it's as if in this place where everybody's main focus is just to get by, it doesn't even matter who you are or what your status is. Everybody here is essentially equal in just trying to continue living. On top of that, there's more clever wordplay, such as how even Thomas Jefferson is on the nickel. A, because he is literally pictured on the American nickel, and B, because, again, no matter what your status is, homelessness can happen to anybody. Next is my own personal favorite song from the album, Mr. Siegel. So while we've already focused on some negative aspects of SoCal, we leave that behind to travel a bit further away and feel a bit better, even if we're still getting into a little bit of trouble here, for this fittingly sleazy homage to Vegas. And there's lots of promiscuous fun you can get into, like spending all your money in a brothel across the street from a church if you didn't already lose it all in the slots. Because hey, how can the angels sleep when the devil leaves his porch light on? What a f***ing line, and I hope that's Vegas's nickname, because that's cool as hell. Furthermore, the titular Mr. Siegel would in fact be Bugsy Siegel, the mobster who helped shape Vegas into what we know it as today. And then to close the album out is Ruby's Arms.
As I say goodbye to Ruby's arms, although my heart is breaking.
It has a man begrudgingly leaving his woman in her sleep. He says that she'll find another soldier, so the general belief is that he's going off to war, but there's literally no other reference of it, so I wouldn't be surprised if people are just taking that literally and it's not necessarily the case. But regardless, Tom and co do a fantastic job capturing that intended emotion for a heartbreaking track to end on. Heartattack and Vine is available on all of vinyl, cassette, CD, and digital download, though versions may have been a little scarce throughout the years. Throughout the 80s and 90s there were a decent amount of prints, but From 99 through 2010, there weren't any. As for aesthetics, 3 different vinyl variants were released in 2018, Clear, Clear with Smoke, and Moss Green. It was a fairly well-received album, though admittedly nothing groundbreaking. As time went on, Waits' cult following grew, leading to some retroactive recognition, even landing on the list 1001 albums to hear before you die. Heartattack and Vine saw Waits continue to transcend into his own, complete with his ever-signature raspy vocals. While it features probably more guitar than any of the predecessors in his catalog, it is still very much a piano blues album. As we've heard, many moments here paint some rugged nights out in Los Angeles, though there are of course the occasional tender love songs on here as well. I will be stamping this album with an A- grading. I'll admit that there's absolutely 0 bad songs on here, just too few that I really love. I think the biggest compliment I have for it is the fantastic lyricism, as I've already praised, and its many quotable lines. But those are just my thoughts on Tom Waits and Heartattack and Vine. Let me know yours. As always, I've appreciated hosting you, and I hope to host you again. But real quick, before we take off, what were your thoughts on Heartattack and Vine? Did I rate it too high or did I rate it too low? You let me know down below, as well as anything else you might be thinking, any other albums you want me to check out, or just anything you want to let me know. Appreciate hosting you, as always, and we'll see you again later. Take it easy.